I've just been out with some friends. It's kind of been a bit of a reunion actually. And God, I wish I hadn't gone, to be honest. I was so looking forward to it, but once I got there, I realised just how far ahead everyone else is doing in their lives compared to me. I just feel hopeless. I feel so on a downward spiral and depressed. And the worst thing is, I actually feel a lot of envy and guilt around just how far they have got in life, where I should be in life. Is this you? Always comparing yourself to other people and thinking, I'm nowhere near as good as them. If it is you, then do please stay tuned. Hi, I'm Dolly Malik. Thank you for tuning in to my channel. And in this channel, I like to share with you tips, tricks, techniques around transformation, self-empowerment, and self-development. Coming from a background in corporate leadership, I'm now blessed to be an international philanthropist, a certified health, life, and wellbeing coach. And in this short video, I wanted to explore the theme around why we feel the need to always compare ourselves to others. I think everyone at some point in life has done this. If not, some people do it to the point that it kind of overtakes their life and their self-development journey. So I'm going to discuss a little bit around why we may come from that way of thinking within ourselves, and then I'm going to share with you 2 mindset shifts that could assist you in trying to ease away from that thought pattern that you have within yourself. So firstly, why do we have this need for constant comparison to others? Well, I think inherently as humans, we're always just constantly comparing. Whether we like it or not, we tend to be catching someone else doing something else, etc., and seeing in our minds how it would be if we were in that position. It could even stem from how we were brought up as children. I don't know if you were a child who did really well in your school exams, or you thought you really did well, you did your best, let's say, in your school exams. You came home, rushing home, ready to tell your parents how you've done. And one of the first things they then say is, yeah, okay, but how did so-and-so do? How did, Jack do? How did Julie do? How did Sophie do? How did, you get the idea. If this is you, do please pop your experiences in the comment section below, because it really helps. I love to hear other people's experiences, and it really helps the community in terms of sharing experiences. So if this does resonate with yourselves, do please share that. So I think that's the thing, is that need for constant comparison may well come from how we were conditioned as children as well. So we kind of grow up constantly comparing ourselves to others. I know that was something that my parents did a lot in relation to myself. It was just in terms of throughout my education of how I was doing versus how other family friends, children of the same age, were doing. So that is the thing. It's a difficult trait to then fall away from, because it really does ebb away in terms of your self-confidence and your self-worth. Because where you may have felt really good and boosted about how your performance was in that exam or that test, you then come home and it's almost like deflated. You're sort of thinking your parents should be there to really support you and encourage you, but it's kind of taken away from you. And that's how it did feel for me for quite a large part of my educational life as well. So that's the thing. Moving on then to 2 possible mindset shifts that can help move you away from that. Techniques which I used actually in life as I progressed. The first mindset shift is to accept your detours in life. Accept where you are in life right now. That's where you are meant to be right now, and love the detours of your own journey. Your journey is yours alone, and that is because your lessons are for you alone to have to learn and gain wisdom from. So it's almost like, for example, when you're intending to go somewhere on a journey, and you kind of the intention is to go on the fastest route, maybe down a highway, but in the end, for various reasons, you get taken on a detour, which ends up with you going by a much more scenic route. So that potentially results in a village that you've never encountered before. That might be just on your doorstep, something really beautiful. It could be that you come across a really lovely small country restaurant or a country pub that you would never have experienced. So it's a similar thing in terms of your own life detours. Take that time out to have a bit of a self-reflection dialogue of trying to understand when those so-called detours have happened in your life compared to others that you are indeed comparing yourself to. Ask yourself, why were you kind of taken down that detour? What lessons, and more importantly, what wisdom did you gain from those lessons that have resulted as a result of the detour? Moving on to the second mindset shift, and that is the importance of actually starting to limit whatever it is, whoever it is that you are trying to make comparisons with. So there's 2 possible suggestions on how you can go about doing this. In the world of social media that we live in, I would say it's becoming more and more difficult to not make comparisons with other people, because there's so many platforms out there, right, that you can always be comparing yourself to celebrities, to everyday influencers, all sorts of people, and that is just outside your own physical social circle. So that sort of external craving and need that feeds your brain around having to compare is just constantly growing. So limit your consummation of social media. Only consume social media that's going to be beneficial to you. So if you are constantly comparing yourself to other people, maybe if you're on a health drive as part of your self-development journey, and you're constantly around a lot of beautiful body toned people in your social media feed. Now that's great because it could act as a motivation to you, but if it's actually having a negative effect on you and your emotions, and it's actually causing you to stagnate more in your self-development journey, then pull away from it altogether. If you want to stay focused on social media to a certain extent in terms of your consumption, then do it towards something far more positive, towards your learning, and much more towards your goals in a different way. That then moves on to a second way of having to limit who you are comparing yourself to. And I alluded to it before around the second mindset shift, and that is around keeping away from physical people that you compare yourself to. So the example I started off with about going to a friend's reunion, that may well be a case. That was actually a true case for one of my clients who was so excited and full of positivity to be meeting with friends, and then they really just did the exact opposite by the time they came out of there, because they were too busy comparing themselves. They had shifted themselves back into that mindset of how they were as children, and probably their parents comparing their scores to their peers, and then now they were comparing how well they were doing or not well that they were doing in life compared to their friends, the kind of cars their friends drove, the homes, the holidays, etc. We're in a world where it's like the labels people wear, the kind of branded bags that women carry, etc. So again, limit yourself to people that you are likely to compare yourself to in a negative way. If you're comparing yourself to someone that you aspire to, that again, like the social media side, if it helps to actually motivate you, then that's fantastic. But limit yourself in terms of keeping the company of those that you feel are actually going to take you down that downward spiral of depression, feeling that hopelessness, etc. So there you have it, 2 quick techniques around mindset shifts to help you to pull away from comparing yourself to other people. Always remember that you are absolutely unique. You are flawless as far as the vessel that the universe has put on this earth. Your soul is beautiful, and you keep shining, keep smiling, and keep being the amazing that is you. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you resonated with any of this content, do please put your comments down below. Again, share your experiences, share further tips, strategies around how others can carry on helping themselves to get out of this constant need to compare with others. And do please subscribe if you haven't already done so, and please share and like. Thank you once again. Until the next time.